Others think it will be a good boost to your career to get experience in this city, at an internship, a full-time 30-hour experience. So those are some of the things that may have brought you here. I'd like you to also consider the outcomes, the intentions, where you want to be. Again, similar to the Stones lyric. Assessment is important. We will do a number of things during this semester to assess how you are doing, your learning. This is a program based on the model of experiential education. So there's reflection. There are a lot of things that the lead advisors, the lead programmers, our program staff will be working with you on. And it all comes down to trying to get the best outcome for you. You will be the driver, but we will help. I'm frequently asked, what are the ingredients that make for a successful experience at the Washington Center? And over time, I've come to speak with a lot of our 50,000 alumni that have come through the program before you. And it frequently comes down to three components. And I'd like to share those with you. The first is aptitude. And you'll be pleased to know that you're smart enough to be here or you wouldn't be here. Someone on campus had to recommend you. You had to have a certain GPA. You had to have a certain level of maturity. Typically, maybe 95% of you are juniors and seniors. So you're either upperclassmen and women or possibly recent graduates. So you're smart enough to be here. Town is about public policy. You don't have to be a nuclear physicist to be successful here. The second ingredient after the aptitude is a little bit more problematic, will be for a few of you, very few, I hope, and that's attitude. The metaphor I usually use is this half full or is it half empty? I like to think of things as half full. A positive attitude gets you a long way in life. Warren Buffett has a famous expression. He'd rather work with someone with a 200 horsepower brain who has a great attitude than someone who has a 400 horsepower brain, but really doesn't know how to work with others, thinks of themselves instead of a team. Collaboration is sort of a dirty word or something that just flies over their head. They just don't get it. So attitude is extremely important. And the third thing is motivation, because frankly, if you're smart enough, if you got the aptitude, you've got a really good attitude, but you're lazy, that's going to come across in the internship because you're going to cut corners. You're going to try and get other people to pick up your slack. And it's just really hard to do that without people noticing. I mean, you may think you're getting away with something one day. Frankly, this is such a small percentage of this group. You're here because you're intrigued by this possibility and you want to get something out of it. And if you weren't a risk taker, you'd still be on campus. So I'm really only speaking to a very small percentage of people who might think that they can coast and no one will notice. Not going to happen. I believe all 450 of you have the capability to do great things this semester, to advance your own career, to get the professional development that I think is one of the reasons you're here, to help you get that first job, to set you on a career that will be influential and substantive. And so I just wish you all the best. We have a staff of 90 full-time employees. We're here to help you, to assist you, to guide you, to motivate you, and to assess how you're doing. Basically, we're here to help. And so we have open door policies. Obviously, it's great to call for an appointment if you've got a problem. If not, just come in. You'll find someone who can help you. I'm really proud of my colleagues on the staff. I think you'll be happy to work with them this semester, and I wish you all the best. Thanks very much.
Hi, my name's Kelly Eaton, and I'm Chief Academic Officer and Senior Vice President here at the Washington Center. And I always enjoy hearing President Smith's comments because it's really decades of wisdom. He has been working with providing opportunities for students for decades. And so when he tells you those highlights, you should listen. He really has had an eye and an ear on this for a very long time. I want to welcome you all here, and just I want to first say, realize you are literally here from all over the globe. You are from China and India and Pakistan and South Korea and Turkey and Kyrgyzstan and Kenya and Gibraltar and France and Canada and Mexico and El Salvador. You're from Iowa and California and the state of Washington and the state of Arkansas. And you're from North Carolina and Massachusetts and Pennsylvania. We are from all over. And I would hold that there are very few young adults right now in the situation that you're in, to be able to live together, learn together, learn about each other, learn about each other's countries, learn about each other's ambitions for their futures. This isn't happening on any other college campus, any place else, I can guarantee you. So really realize that this is a special thing. You're part now already of a network that's 55,000 strong in terms of the alumni of the Washington Center, people who are doing amazing things all around the world. So I just wanted to take 1 second before my formal remarks and kind of get you to focus on that a little bit and sort of realize you're now in that family, in that group. So it might be a little bit redundant to say, welcome to this global city, Washington, D.C. You know, you are living in a global living, learning environment here, but you're also completely surrounded by not just the capital of this nation, but a truly global city. You cannot walk down the streets in Washington. You cannot ride a bus or a metro in Washington or sit on a park bench at the mall without hearing Chinese and Russian and Spanish and Urdu. It is truly, truly global. So appreciate that. And again, for some of you, you might come from global cities to this global city. Some of you are coming from a farm in Kansas. So just appreciate the new setting and try to be a sponge and learn from it. I'm assuming that some of you are going to catch Potomac fever. I moved here as an 18-year-old from California and completely in love, felt just completely in love with this city. And I know that that will happen to some of you as well. There's a lot here to love. You know, there's a lot of fun things to love. There's restaurants serving food you've never heard of. Try it. It's, you know, this is a really great time to try some amazing. When I moved here out of high school, there were not very many good restaurants. There were a couple that were way out of my price range, but it was not a city that was all that cosmopolitan. It was kind of a little bit sleepy southern city at that point. It was a little different than it is now. So take advantage of that. Theaters, museums, Nats games. Hopefully they're not going to completely fold at the end of the season. Walk through Georgetown. Run around the mall. And engage with the people that you meet, not just with each other, but the people that you meet. This city is full of incredibly smart and engaged people. And what you're going to find is they're not that much older than you. The city is really run by young people. It's run by people in their 20s and people in their 30s, people with a lot of energy and a lot of commitment and engagement and just being smart. I was a campus professor for 25 years. I taught at campuses across the country and also in China in several locations. And if you think back to your curriculum on your college campus, you've committed to a major, maybe a couple majors, maybe a couple minors and a couple majors, but you've committed to, in most instances, unless you have a self-made major, which some of you might, you've committed to a curriculum that was set for others that you needed to complete in order to get that credential. But as Professor Smith said, this semester here is really about you. It's really about what does all of this that you've learned so far mean for you? How you think about the different professions that might be out there. You're going to learn about professions and career paths you didn't know existed before you came here. So think about this as being really focused on you, focused on your professional development. You probably are going to do some personal development as well, and career exploration. It's specifically designed, carefully designed. Every assignment, every element is carefully designed for you to explore these interests and skills, your values, and your ambition. So see these next 15 weeks as a time to really reflect on your future, and most importantly, really to begin to envision your future self. Who do you want to be? What kind of person? What do you want to do? How do you want to impact the world? So I welcome you. I'm excited for you, and have a great time. Thank you, President Smith and Dr. Eaton. So as many of you may know, the Washington Center was founded on the belief that the right experience can transform students' lives, setting them on a course of achievement, leadership, and civic responsibility. That is why the Washington Center immerses qualified students and professionals in our uniquely intense and productive living, working, and learning environment. Our mission is to provide students with transformational experience that fosters academic, professional achievement, leadership, and civic engagement. That experience began with a team of internship advisors who collectively worked intentionally and reflectively to ensure that each of you had a high quality, substantive experience this semester. They worked to make sure those were matches for you. So what I'd like to do is to introduce you to that team. Many of you may have met them through Skype or through phone calls, but I want you to meet the folks who helped get you started on this path with the Washington Center. So I'd like the internship advisors to come forward, please. I'm going to introduce them, and if they happen to be your internship advisor, feel free to cheer for them. Okay? All right, Ryan Barr. Katie Mount. Eliza Allison. Kinsey Holloway. And Wayne Japanda. So as President Smith mentioned earlier, you are always connected to the Washington Center resource. This is one of those teams that has worked with you from the moment of your acceptance until now, right? You'll still see them. They'll still be at events. You'll still be able to interact with them, but we wanted you to make sure you could put a name with a face as someone who helped really start this transformational experience. So let's give them another round of applause. Thank you guys. Now that you're here in DC, your time with Washington Center is going to be further enhanced and shaped by a team of instructors who will be working with you in our lead colloquium and professional track aspirations. The lead instructors, through intentional programs, interactions, reflection, and assignments, will guide and mentor each of you in helping you synthesize and contextualize your educational experiences within the framework of your professional and personal attributes. Your professional and personal aspirations, your values, your skills, your ability to learn, your ability to grow, your ability to develop. And they're going to help extend you beyond your campus boundaries. For many of you, this is the first time you've traveled. For some of you, this is the first time you've been on a plane. Maybe the first time you've been on the metro or put a suit on from 9 to 5, right? This team of instructors is going to be there for you. They're also going to be there as accountability agents. They're going to make sure, to President Smith's remarks earlier about the assessment part of things, right, that you're doing well. And so they're here to work with you. So I'd like to introduce you to those lead instructors. So come forward, team. Go for it.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Avi Crichton. Alongside being a senior lead advisor, I'm also going to be working with both the Ford and Prudential programs this semester. I have a bachelor's in anthropology and a master's in international education, and I am looking forward to a great semester. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Christine Kovac, and I will be serving as a lead instructor as well as a professional track advisor for law and criminal justice. I received my master's in higher education and student affairs from the University of South Carolina, and my advice is to you is to make sure you take time to explore, to see while you're here, and don't let the metro scare you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Chris Masaros. I have a background in philosophy, political philosophy. I have a master's from the University of Wisconsin. I'm a lead instructor. I'm a lead instructor, and I'm also a program track advisor for advocacy, service, and arts. And as a philosopher, I can tell you the value of critical thinking in the exam and life, and I look forward to working on both of those with you this fall.
Hi, Hi everyone, I'm Danielle Sampson, and I'll be a lead instructor for many of you and a professional track advisor for the rest for the best track, international affairs, go international affairs. And I have a BA in political science from Hood College, yes, that's a real school, and a master's in global affairs from George Mason University. My advice to all of you is don't be afraid to make mistakes because this is how you learn.
Hi, my name is David Slavic. I am a lead instructor as well as the professional track advisor for the Law and Criminal Justice program. I have a JD in law from the University of Pittsburgh and a BA from the Ursinus College. It's a very small college. My advice to you is to come to your workplace with solutions and not just complaints. If you see something that you want to address, think about how you can address it before you address it with your supervisor. And you're going to be seen as a...
Hello, everyone. My name is Dana Wade. I am a lead instructor to many of you, and I will be the professional track advisor along with Danielle for international affairs this semester. I have a background in journalism from Hampton University and a master's in education. I really look forward to working with you all this semester. My advice to you would be to take advantage of all of your opportunities, meet as many people as you can, and you can sleep during Christmas holiday. So just go out there and do it.
Good morning, my name is Irene Rivera. I'm a lawyer and I did my Juris Doctor back in Puerto Rico, where I'm originally from. And I have a master's in law from the George Washington University here in Washington, D.C. I'm the lead instructor for the Cordovas, and I also have my track, it's with the Cordovas also. And my advice for you would be, take it to the next level. Here at the Washington Center, we're giving you all the resources you need in order to be successful as an intern. But it's really up to you to experience the city and really take it to the next level and be successful.
Good morning. My name is Kathleen Regan, and I am a lead instructor, and also I am a program manager for the Media and Communications program, which actually is the best program. We have the best programming. And also they report on what everybody else is doing. So my academic background, I have a degree in political science from Kent State University in Ohio, and my master's is in political management running campaigns from George Washington University. But my advice to you, I'm one of the oldest program advisors here, is to tell you that you should look to the left, look to the right, look all around you. That is your network. That is your beginning of your start of the semester. As somebody who's been here for 15 years, I will tell you that you will actually, these people will help you more, and you will learn to later on in life that these will be the resources that will help you the most. So make as many friends here with the Washington Central. We're a tight-knit community when it comes to being an alum. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kyle Bergman, and alongside being a lead instructor, I'll be hoping to run the Politics and Public Policy program. I got my BA in International Studies from Ohio State, and I got my Master's in Public Policy from George Washington University. My one piece of advice to you is one of the best resources in DC are going to be informational interviews, and a lot of you may not know what that is, but you will be required to do one as part of the programming here. And I just want to urge you to start that process now because it does take time, and a lot of students wait to the last minute, and it's it takes a while and the assignment. So just start the process really early.
Hi everyone, I'm Sam Lebo. I am a lead instructor as well as working with Kyle on the Politics and Public Policy track. I got my BA in Public Policy from Evergreen State College, which I doubt any of you have heard of, and a Master's in International Education from the School for International Training. And my advice would be, might seem kind of self-explanatory, but manage your time well. There's a lot of things you're gonna wanna have time to do here. Start things early, and you will find yourselves a lot more relaxed in the long run. I look forward to meeting all of you.
Hi everybody, I'm Tiffany Tolston and I'm a lead instructor as well as I do the Business and Global Trade program. I have my master's and my undergraduate degree from Howard University.
Yay!
All right, I see you. Anyway, so just have a great semester. I won't keep you any longer.
You want this one?
Hi, everyone. I'm Megan Rose O'Neill. I'm one of the managers of this amazing team of lead instructors and professional track advisors. And I'm just here to give you a very brief overview of LEAD. So by now you've seen and heard the term LEAD, Lead Friday, Lead Colloquium Small Group. What does that actually mean? LEAD is an acronym, and you'll quickly find out DC is full of them, for leadership, engagement, achievement, and development. And Lead Fridays are going to help you connect all the dots of your DC experience. You're going to be doing and experiencing a lot while you're here. And these experiences are connected in more ways than you might think. Your Lead Colloquium small groups and your lead instructor will help you learn about yourself and reflect on the ways that all these puzzle pieces fit together. The small groups will also broaden your perspective since, as Kelly was mentioning, these cohorts are a mix of students from all majors and interests, domestic and international. In your professional track on Friday afternoons, you'll explore your academic and professional interests in a very DC-centric way with interactions and experiences that could only happen here in DC. On some Fridays, LEAD will consist of all of you gathering together, similar to this, for the Simpson-Mineta Leaders Series, SMLS, another acronym, to hear from prominent figures in the community, and those sessions will be coupled with civic engagement sessions. You'll also attend Career Boot Camp, which will further enhance career readiness for opportunities that might be presented to you through your professional track. And additionally, you'll broaden your global horizon through Global Citizenship Day and other LEAD sessions. Your lead instructor will go over all of this in detail tomorrow, and Dr. Jen Adele is going to tell you more about SMLS and civic engagement later, but we just wanted to share a little preview of this with you today. So again, welcome, thank you, and I'll hand it off to Dr. Alan Gross.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alan Gross. I'm the Senior Director of Academic Affairs here at the Washington Center, and I have the pleasure of working with our curriculum development and our institutional effectiveness and assessment efforts. I also direct the evening academic courses program, so your class that you'll have one night a week, Monday through Thursday, one of those evenings. And I get to teach in that program as well. I teach philosophy of law and the Supreme Court. I might have a chance to meet some of you in that class. I might have a chance to meet more of you at the courses open house this afternoon if you have any questions about that. By academic training, I'm a political philosopher as well. We actually have 3 of them on staff here at the Washington Center now. I did my bachelor's at Furman University, a master's here in DC at American University in philosophy and social policy, and then my PhD at the City University of New York. So my interests include not just political philosophy, but I'm a junkie for the history of ideas, as well as the philosophy of education. So for me, it's a real treat to be able to live and work in Washington, D.C., this historic political city, and also to be a part of the Washington Center and its mission of helping students like you to push the envelope on what it means to be educated in today's increasingly global and ever-changing world. So we say at the Washington Center that experience transforms. And I'll say a little bit in just a second about how this happens. But I first want you to think about why. Why should this experience transform you? Fast forward a little bit here. Think about your career in front of you. Fast forward maybe 5, maybe 10 years if you're headed to some grad school as well. You might be applying for a new job. Right? It'll be a job that will bring you into a new organization and at a new management level. You're going to have quite a learning curve ahead of you in your first 90 days, but picture it this way. envision yourself doing it this way. You're not scared. You're going to jump right into the fire. You're going to survive, and you're going to thrive. Why? Because you're adaptive. You get the lay of the land very quickly. You help see what experiences you have had in the past that you can transfer to your new setting. You help your organization change and grow and innovate. And it's not going to be the last time that you jump into the fire and do that with another organization. You're constantly learning and you're constantly innovating. Or maybe it's a little bit different. Maybe you're positioned for a new leadership role in an organization that you've been a part of for a few years now, right? It might be a large company, or it might be a federal law enforcement agency. How many people here want to be in federal law enforcement? I knew you're there, right? So you're an emerging leader. The people in your division are going to be looking to you to help them change and help them adapt and help them to confront challenges that probably didn't even exist a year or two ago when you started there. There's no textbook to help you with this. There's no field manual that will tell you how to deal with the problem. But that's okay, because you're going to be successful. You're confident in your ability to help your team adapt to the new circumstances in the horizon. And you know that the best leaders are lifelong learners, and you've been doing this for a while, so you're ready. You're confident for it. So the why behind our motto of Experience Transforms is actually your future as an innovator, your future as a leader, your future as a learner. You know that this is where you are going to jumpstart your future as a lifelong learner. And there's no better way to do that than through experience. Now, getting back to that how part, right? How will this experience shape you? Well, that's easy for me because it's all up to you, right? You're going to be the author of your own transformation. At the Washington Center, we can help you with several things. We can help you find an internship placement. We've got a great team that's done that. We can help you with a great place to stay here in fabulous DC in the NOMA district. We can help you facilitate getting around Metro. We can keep you busy with courses and all sorts of other stuff. But how you connect the dots, right? How you put the big picture together, that's all up to you. So I want to challenge you to think about this. Think about what it means to learn, particularly from experience. Be active, be reflective in your learning process. Draw on all of the assets that you have already brought to this experience that helped you get here. We call this the process of integrative learning. And it's one that happens with a set of skills that maybe go at increasingly deeper levels. First, you'll be drawing the connections from the things that you've learned about on campus to the things that you're observing in the city around you. That's one of the things that leaders and innovators have to be able to do, recognize something that they've thought about theoretically and see it in the dynamics of the market or the workplace around them. It's about adapting and transferring your skills to new settings. Everybody here has made it through freshman comp and probably some writing intensive courses in their major. You've mastered writing in an academic tone, and now you're going to get to master writing in a professional tone for different audiences of stakeholders. And there's the skill of reflecting strategically. What assets do you bring to your new challenges? How will they shape your future as a lifelong learner? Your experience at the Washington Center and here in Washington, DC is going to be transformational if you approach every new opportunity, every new engagement in this spirit of integrative learning. There's also a rubric, we do assessment, that you'll find in Schoology probably tomorrow to help you think about moving from drawing simple connections to plotting out your future as a lifelong learner who has a plan for your success. So it's a big picture to keep track of. And one of our hallmark assignments here at the Washington Center is your final TWC portfolio. It'll serve two functions, and you'll learn more about this tomorrow. The first is to document your work and document your accomplishments. And we're going to send a copy of it back to your campus, to your campus liaison. This will help be a part of our recommendation for a grade for you for the semester. But second, and more importantly, it's also going to help you reflect. It's going to help you identify what you learned, how you learned it, and what settings you learned this from. Could be academic, could be professional, could be civic. So fast forward now just a little bit, not 5-10 years, but about 14-15 weeks now to the end of this semester. The last assignment we're going to give you is called a capstone reflection. And you're going to be telling the story of your semester here in Washington, D.C., right? You get to write that. So it's the story not just of your time, but it's the story of everything you learned and how you learned it. It's going to be the first chapter in your story as a future lifelong learner. So be intentional about that. Think about it over the coming weeks. Make it broad, make it deep, make it integrative. Connect the dots between this semester and your coming future as a lifelong learner. So you've come from all over the world. You're here in a fabulous global city. My colleagues and I very much look forward to those capstone reflections coming in just a few short weeks from now and to seeing everything that you're going to accomplish. Welcome.
Let's give another round of applause to my colleagues. Thank you all. So as I move into closing, I have a couple of questions for you all before I get to announcements and all that fun housekeeping kind of stuff, right? That's part of it. How many of you all know exactly what you want to do? You know your path. Raise your hands. You've got a clear vision of where you want to be. Excellent. Thank you, President Smith. I'm glad you're on it. How many of you are still wondering where you're going to be, what you're going to do? Excellent, excellent. Part of the beauty of being in this experience is that this is a time to explore, right? This is a time to really think about it. Picture this, mid-1990s, we won't give exact dates because that ages me too much. I was where you guys were at, not in an internship, unfortunately, but junior, senior, finishing up 3 degrees at 2 different schools, Bachelor of Chemistry, Bachelor's of Pre-Medical Science, and a Bachelor's of Biology. See this as a scientist? Went on to med school, MD, PhD program. MD in neurology, PhD in terontology. Terontology study birth defects, all right? Shifted from that to biomedical science. Spent a couple of years working nuclear radioisotopes. Again, picture a scientist, all right? Does that seem like it fits my personality? Okay. Shifted into counseling. Came to higher ed. A few years ago, found myself working at the Washington Center, an amazing place where, yes, I drank the Kool-Aid. Experience truly does transform, right? The reason I share that with you is that I think this is an opportunity for you to truly spend this semester and beyond, but this semester particularly, thinking about what you want to be. Where do you want to be? I know you've heard that your whole life. It sounds kind of corny, right? What do you want to be when you grow up kind of thing. No door should remain unopened. Use this semester to explore every opportunity to see how you use your academics, right? How you use what you've learned. How do you really think about what do you want to see for yourself in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. Many of us have a hard time thinking 10 years down the road, right? 10 years down the road, I'm like, ooh, I'd like to be on a beach somewhere. That sounds good, okay? But I want you to use this semester, use it wisely. As many of my colleagues have said, we've given you every resource this semester to really learn about yourselves, right? There's gonna be times when you feel like, oh, this feels like busy work. It is critically important to reflect on who you are, what you know, what you need to know, right? How you're gonna use this experience to really shape your next adventure, your next journey. So think about that every day, about how you use this experience. How do you connect the dots, as Megan Rose said, right? How you really think about a capstone, as Dr. Gross mentioned. Because we want you to really use this 15 weeks to align with where you're gonna be, okay? You may not have the answer in 15 weeks, trust me, right? Many of you will go through 12 different careers in your adult life. Sounds fun, doesn't it? Don't worry about that. Explore, learn, figure out who you are and how you're going to use all this wonderful theory that you've gained and put it in a practical mode. Okay? So I want you to do that. Challenge yourself every day to think about something new. My dad used to say you can sleep when you're dead. I believe that fully. All right? Don't sleep this semester. You can do that later. Winter holidays. Somebody said that, one of the lead instructors. All right? Use this semester to really explore everything DC has to offer you, as well as the Washington Center. We're going to position you extremely well to meet, to learn, to network, to grow. But you've got to do it. All right? So think about that. That's my challenge to you all. All right. Moving into announcements. Are you ready? All right, wonderful. Every one of you should have this beautiful document right here, right? You don't have to take it out, but you all have it? Yeah? I saw a lot of people starting to dip. They were going for it. It's great. Okay? Couple of things. I'm not reading this whole thing to you. You're very intelligent people. We know that, right? We talked about aptitude. You're here for the right reasons. But a couple of things. If it says required, what does that mean? Required, right? You should be there, all right? Don't make us track you down, okay? So if you look through this, starting with Thursday, that's the day we're on, where it says required, look to see if you're a part of that program that's required, all right? Make sure you know where you're supposed to be throughout the rest of the afternoon. We keep this very open. It's called open house for a reason, okay? But there are required sessions that some of you have to be at, all right? For those of you who don't have requirements, there are things that are optional, okay? Take part in those too. They're here to help launch your experience the right way. That's why it's called orientation. So think about things you need to know still. If you're a little bit nervous about Monday morning, stop and talk to some people about it, right? If this is your first time moving into a professional realm, chat with some folks. We're going to be all around all afternoon to really help and guide you, all right? A couple of things that you do need to know. How many of you are still a little bit unsure about who your lead instructor is? I love honesty. Good job, you all. Raise your hands, okay? All right. I'm going to clarify that real quickly with two things. You just met them all, lead instructors, right? How many of you have been on Schoology already? I should see 450 hands in the air. I don't see 450 hands in the air. So your lead colloquium group corresponds with the name of your lead colloquium course on Schoology. So if you've logged into Schoology and you see your lead colloquium course, that's who your lead instructor is, okay? If you happen to see lead instructor 1, right, that's Christine Kovac. Raise your hand, Christine. Where are you? There you are, okay? If you happen to see lead instructor 2, that's now Christopher. Chris, where are you? There you are. So one of the beautiful things I do is hire amazing people. Just got them on board. So you saw lead instructor 1, you now have your lead instructor. It's fantastic, okay? It's important you know who your lead instructor is because that's how Friday is shaped. So when you look at tomorrow's schedule, it's based on your lead instructor. So take a look at that. Make sure you're aware of who your lead instructor is, okay? A couple more announcements and I will release you to whatever's next in your day. For those of you who are in our housing, your community group meetings that are scheduled for this evening have been updated on both your Schoology updates as well as in your calendar. For those are this evening. So your community group meetings, those are necessary. So check Schoology, make sure you know where you're going, okay? Again, it's in your calendar and it's in your updates. Last but not least, if you're in the postgraduate professional development program, you need to see me after this. So just gather right up here on the front line, okay? So stay with me if you're in the postgrad program, all right? Last but not least, have an amazing semester, all right? Think about this concept of transformation. It starts with you. We can be here all day long and give you as many resources as possible, but it starts with you. You've taken the big jump. You're here. So now keep that path going. I want to welcome you all. I want to thank you for joining the Washington Center, and I wish you the best of luck this semester. Thank you.